Here we are. Again, warning, yelling, protesting, marching, desperately looking for a way out of what seems to be an ongoing cycle of violence and racism. Listen closely. You can hear the battle cries and chants of men, women, and children. Fed up with seeing black people being slaughtered by the police. But is it really black people as a whole, or mostly black men? I ask this not to take away from black women and the injustices that they endure, but to get black men to really focus on the real solutions and problems that we face. Solutions and problems that often take a backseat to brazen protests. We are the primary reasons that stifle the progression of black America. Now, black men, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that to place the blame squarely on us. But we are the primary solutions to these problems. Ain't no Captain Save a Nigga flying through the sky for black men. We have to save ourselves. We have to save our families. Nobody else can be more dedicated to doing that than us. Police brutality is a very important issue to address, but it's a symptom of an underlying problem in black America, with black men being in the hot seat of those underlying problems. But we hardly see any action being televised or liberal politicians directly speaking about these serious underlying issues. I mention liberal politicians because that's who we throw 80 to 90% of our vote behind, with no real progression. Nothing tangible to show for all of this outrage. Nothing that has put a dent in imprisonment rates, homicide rates, and low wages of black men. Every so-called POC or marginalized group has their own movement, has their own code. A table where only they sit to ponder and plan on how to infiltrate and disrupt a system that excludes them. Except us black men. You see, what we do is allow white philanthropists to take our pain and fund political movements being led by people who do not represent the bulk of issues that inspire others to take to the streets. This is important to pay attention to, because since the Black Lives Matter movement has started, I haven't seen where black men have significantly benefited from it. And to be honest, I don't see where black men have benefited from any of these type of movements. Movements that thrive on the idea that the number one issue facing this country right now is social justice, when we know the number one issue facing black America is the breakdown of the black family. And that mostly falls on black men. We're the ones taking up space in prison. we're the ones likely to die by homicide at the hands of another brother. We're the ones likely to be unemployed. And when we are employed, we're likely earning less money to feed our families. Mostly because we're less likely to pursue higher education or dominate trades. They don't hesitate to get in these streets, though, to show their symbolic solidarity. But when we start to ask what the value is in a megalo multicultural movement funded by rich white people and being organized by black women, the narrative falls by the wayside. Shout out to black women, by the way, for being the most dedicated and loving women to black men. But it's black men primarily suffering from these issues. Yet for some reason, we're not the faces of these movements. That should give you a big hint about what these movements are really about. They are not to address or correct black male issues. These movements were created to use the deaths of black men as a catalyst to aid in pulling votes for the Democratic Party. But y'all don't feel me. Listen for yourself.
Until black people are free.
No one is fully free.
Because the issues that affect black people the most affect everyone.
Everyone. Can you imagine an America with no police brutality, without mass shootings and gun violence, mass incarceration,
children in cages,
and racist immigration policies,
voter suppression, environmental degradation, racial injustice?
It's time to vote for an America where our lives are valued and protected, where police are held accountable, where we have access to quality health care, where we can thrive in school, where our water is safe to drink. It's time to vote for an America without low wages and low opportunity. Vote for an America without the oppression of white supremacy.
Can you imagine an America where oppression and fear are dissolved?
Where we are whole and healed? We are the most powerful voters in this country, so we will not be distracted by the noise they make. We are going to choose who leads us, those who truly represent us, and vote out those who don't. Vote you out. We are going to show up and fight for what we need and vote for what really matters. We are what matters 2020.
Text what matters to 24365.
What does any of this have to do with anything?
If black people aren't free, then nobody else is free? What does that even mean? History literally says otherwise. The issues they list are concerns for multiculturalists, not necessarily black men. Trayvon Martin's death has nothing to do with immigration policy. George Floyd's death has nothing to do with voter suppression. The issues that affect black people the most do not affect everyone. White male mass shootings have nothing to do with the degradation of the black family or the black male homicide rate. The environment, the hell they got to do with fixing black America? They just named all of the issues on the Democrat fix-it list. And I can really only name 4 that should concern black Americans. We have to start with our backyards first. I need to be able to pour myself a tall glass of success before I can start serving up tall glasses of success for everyone else. Preferably while I'm alive and not a martyr for social justice. Reference my last video, the one I made on corrective promotion. Go check that video out. I said that if black men don't own the narrative and tell our own stories, others will own it and use that shit for themselves. That is exactly what we're seeing. White liberals using black women to take the murders of black men and rally support for the Democratic Party. Not white liberals or black women working with black men to help us succeed where we fail. But that's not their job anyway. That's your job. That's my job. As long as we have brothers that desire to work for a better black America with black men leading the way, then we got a motherfucking brotherhood. Believe that. You have to see yourself as the foundation. We should be ashamed to have allowed our issues to be so poorly represented, to be passed off as some whack multicultural movement for social justice. Liberal black men aren't the only kind of black men who see value in a black male patriarch. We don't need social justice or multiculturalism to get behind that. What we need is economic empowerment and policies that can be created or neutralized that will help us achieve economic empowerment. Because we aren't moving or changing a damn thing without money and a black masculine initiative. And you should already know what the Black Masculine Initiative is. Black male excellence for the black family, because that's who relies on us to be provided for and protected. A fistful of dollars will help accomplish this better than emotional and symbolic movements of solidarity, because they don't need black men for that. This is A. Dre. Tell me why you're mad in the comments. And if you really dig what I'm saying here today, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel for more to come.